Good evening and welcome to Oriel Park, the first FAI Cup weekend of 2023 and the third of three All Premier Division ties in this round, ties that caught the eye when the draw was made. Shelbourne and Sligo Rovers have already exited the competition. This evening it's arguably the most attention-grabbing pairing of the round, the 2019 winners against the 2020 winners here at Oriel Park. It's Dundalk against Shamrock Rovers, live on LMFM's online match service and on LOI TV this evening. Alongside me is John Flanagan on co-commentary, and we can hear, John, from the Shedside Army below us, the noise, it has begun.
Yeah, it's just starting to build up now, reaching that crescendo. Both sets of fans finding their voice to what will hopefully be a very entertaining game, and I'm expecting a cracker here today.
Dundalk making a lot of changes, and of course the outstanding change, the absence of Pat Hooban here tonight as well. That's a real blow to their chances. Yeah,
it's huge. He is the one that everyone looks to first of all. You look at the team sheet, he's a talisman, record goal scorer, but he brings so much to the team. He inspires confidence in all those around him, and John Martin has big shoes to fill this evening.
We'll have a quick look at the two sides, starting with the home team. Dundalk here this evening. And Stephen O'Donnell, he makes 5 changes to the team that beat Bruno's Magpies here on Friday. As we said, Pat Hooban, he's picked up some niggles and is out of the matchday squad altogether, as is Louis Ansley. Greg Sloggett, Daniel Kelly and Conor Malley all dropped to the bench. There are starts for Alfie Lewis, Hayden Muller, Robbie McCourt, John Martin and Paul Doyle, and a place on the bench for the first time for new signing Darren Brownlee. What do you make of that 11, John?
Yeah,
it's a tough, tall order here for Dundalk.
It is. It's definitely not as strong as we've seen on Thursday night. Pat and obviously Louis Ainsley missing out. Huge losses. But as Stephen mentioned himself in his pre-match talk, it's about how Dundalk approach this game, whether they have that intensity, that mindset to go after Rovers.
We'll have a little chat about their setup in a moment, because that is a little bit interesting. We'll have a look at the Shamrock Rovers team before we do that. And Alan Mannis, he's back between the posts for Shamrock Rovers this evening after a lengthy absence. Lee Grace, Dylan Watts and Aaron Green, they take Stephen Bradley's tally of changes to 4. Leon Poles, Ronan Finn, Richie Towell and Marcus Poom all make way for Shamrock Rovers today. So at the end of the day, I think it's fair to say no matter what 11 Shamrock Rovers choose, John, they may be out of sorts, but they can pick a strong 11.
Yeah, it's phenomenal when you look at the squad they have. You look at the bench they have. There's so much ability in that squad that you don't really realise when there's 4 or 5 lads missing, and there's still big names missing from the matchday squad. I think like Jack Byrne is the one that leaps out there. He's still missing. Neil Ferrugia. They've such a quality squad, and Dundalk are really going to have to bring their A game tonight. They were able to stifle Rovers in the league here a couple of weeks ago when they pressed really high and really aggressively from the front, and they stopped Rovers getting into their free-flowing football. They're going to have to do that again tonight from the very, very off. Just
very quickly on that Dundalk team, you and I had our look at the personnel, and we decided it was probably likely to be a back 3 for Dundalk this evening, but when they were warming up before the game it looked to be a back 4, and an unusual one as well.
Yeah, again, when they played Rovers they went that 3 at the back and they pushed up high, and it worked for them, so we kind of assumed, looking at the personnel, that's what was going to happen. But in the warm-up drills it looks as if it's a flat back 4, and the big shock is Archie Davis going from right full to the right side of the midfield. I've no doubt he'll do an excellent job there. His delivery has been second to none, so he'll be providing the service to John Martin in there. But it's going to be a change, a new look back for yet again for Dundalk.
Darragh Leahy in at centre back alongside Andy Boyle. You've Robbie McCourt at left back and Hayden Muller at right back. It's a lot of changes to the back.
It is, and it's probably that left hand side. Robbie McCourt has been in and out with injury. Darragh Leahy hasn't played centre half all that much, so it's probably an area where Rovers will target. They'll probably have Aaron Green working hard down that side.
Just so you can put the Shamrock Rovers team up on screen. We have already discussed that to some extent. They have, as we said earlier on, made a number of changes here today, but most notably for them, Alan Mannis returning from a lengthy injury absence as well between the posts, John.
Yeah, I mean, again, he brings so much to that back 4, back 5. His experience, his know-how and his communication, but his distribution is excellent, and it's great to see him back. And in fairness to Leon Poles, he deputised really well.
Our referee this evening is Rob Harvey. He's refereeing Dundalk and Rovers for an 8th time, and he was in charge the last time they faced each other in the FAI Cup, the 2020 final, a match Dundalk won 4-2 after extra time. His assistants are Robert Clark and Wayne McDonald. The 4th official today is Paul McLaughlin. Well, both sets of players breaking away into the huddles and into the groups for some last moments of motivation from the two captains. And the atmosphere has very definitely built inside Oriel Park. It's been quite muted in the build-up to the game, John, hasn't it? We were saying that, but in the last 10 minutes or so, there's been a bit of a crescendo start to it.
Yeah, we were quite worried when we saw a lot of empty seats in the stadium, but I suppose 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, people maybe haven't got to the ground as early as they normally do on a Friday evening, but it's filling up now and the shed is rocking underneath us.
It'll be Rovers to get us underway. Graham Burke charged with the first touch of the afternoon. Shamrock Rovers in their change strip, for those of you listening on LMFM.ie this evening, of all black. Dundalk in their traditional white shirts, black shorts and white stockings. Graham Burke just awaiting the indication from the referee, and Mr. Harvey is happy to get us underway. Here's Dan Cleary sending it long upfield. Sean Hoare operating on the right side for, looks like it's a right wing back position for Shamrock Rovers today. Rory Gaffney against Hayden Muller. Muller in at right back. He's been more usually used as a centre back by Stephen O'Donnell since his arrival, but he can play there. He did play in the Dundalk 11 that won against Shamrock Rovers at the end of last month here. Making his 25th appearance for the club, Hayden Muller this evening, or this afternoon. Sean Kavanagh will take the throw in. Former Fulham defender. 19th appearance of the season for him in all competitions. Gets it back from Gaffney. Here's Paul Doyle. John Martin, scorer of such a vital goal the other night against Bruno's Magpies. Here's Gaffney now. And Muller has dispossessed him and sends it long up towards John Martin, beaten in the air by Lopez. Davies can't bring it with him. Onto it goes Paul Doyle, and he's been fouled. Free kick to Dundalk. This is the 373rd meeting between these sides. Dundalk have won 120, Shamrock Rovers 167, 85 have been drawn. More saliently, it's the 37th FAI Cup meeting between Dundalk and Rovers. Rovers have won 16 of those, Dundalk 9, 12 have been drawn. Rovers with the edge overall and in the Cup. Most recent FAI Cup encounter was that 2020 final, won by Dundalk. Shamrock Rovers' last win over Dundalk in the Cup was also in the final in 2019. Here's Daniel Cleary awaiting the long crossfield pass. Now Lopez. Dylan Watts with a lovely drop of the shoulder to deceive Alfie Lewis. Now Kavanagh. Aaron Green looking to make the run between Leahy and McCourt, but Rovers elect to hold on to it. Now it's Alan Manus, Tom Baldwin, Kieran Callan and Oliver Bradley all watching and listening in this evening. Darragh Leahy rises well to beat Green in the air. Here's Cleary getting the boos of the shed below us. Alan Manus sends that into the air. Hoare's flick on. Robbie McCourt is there in a white shirt to help it back to his goalkeeper, Nathan Shepherd. Here's Muller for Johannes Uli Koko. And now Ryan O'Kane will look to get onto this one. He's in behind Hoare. His touch is a little heavy. Allowed Daniel Cleary to make the intervention. McCourt will try and send one into the area, but that's well blocked by Dylan Watts. And Watts sends it long. Andy Boyle encourages Muller to nod that back to his goalkeeper, Nathan Shepherd. Here's Darragh Leahy. Hayden Muller. John Martin is after this, but Roberto Lopez looks in control. Throw in to Dundalk. Referee just wants to check on, is it the welfare of Rory Gaffney, who's just dropped down to one knee. He's calling on some attention for Gaffney. That's a little concerning. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Rory Gaffney then.
I didn't notice anything, and he's not one for going down if he's not hurt. The Shamrock Rovers medic just giving some attention to Gaffney, and well, is he indicating that it's a left groin problem for Gaffney? And it looks like Johnny Kenny's being prepared already, so it does look like Rory Gaffney's afternoon in Dundalk will last just 4 minutes. Johnny Kenny into the
Shamrock Rovers team already on loan from Celtic. 4 goals to date, one of them in Rovers' win here in March.
He poses a different problem for the Dundalk back four, Johnny Kenny. Gaffney's so strong and he brings other people into the game, where Kenny looks to stretch the game and uses pace in behind a lot more.
Kind of a change to Stephen Bradley's game plan, you'd imagine. He's a very different sort of player to Gaffney.
Yeah, he's a lot more direct, he's a lot more pacey than Gaffney, but Gaffney's hard working, his strength, hold up play is something Rovers will definitely miss.
Shamrock Rovers throw in. Sean Kavanagh to take it. Aaron Green makes the dart towards him. Here's Burke. Kavanagh again. Burke. Smart interchange of passing, and they found Johnny Kenny being held up by Dara Leahy, but he's released it to Cleary, who'll look for a chance to shoot perhaps here. Cuts back. Here's Dylan Watts. Watts for Hoare. Hoare back for Cleary again. Crossed in by Cleary towards Kenny. Little break for Aaron Green, and Uli Coco just sticks out a boot and gets it away. Only as far as Gary O'Neill. And here's Lee Grace now. Grace poking it forward. Doyle is there for Dundalk. Now Andy Boyle will complete the clearance. Onto it comes Doyle. Alfie Lewis can't quite protect it, and Shamrock Rovers have it back again. They've started with intent here. Graham Burke with the shot, but that's wild and well over the crossbar. 8 goals so far this season for Graham Burke. Scored 1 in Rovers' 4-0 Tala win over the Lily Whites here in March, and was on the mark from the penalty spot on Tuesday in Iceland. Here's McCourt. O'Kane. Once again, his control just letting him down. Now Hoare. Rovers have started in good style here. Nathan Shepherd out to gather that in. Had to get the handling right on that, John, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he was offside. It was a good line, well marshalled by Andy Boyle. The Rovers, they seem to be on their game, so they started with a real intensity, a real purpose about them in that midfield. That they're swamping the Dundalk players whenever they have the ball, and they're picking up pieces, and they're asking questions already.
Dundalk have it back. Uli Coco. Lewis into the challenge up against O'Neill. Kavanagh. Davies gets something on it. Can Ryan O'Kane reach that? No. Lopez is there. Now Cleary and now Hoare. And that's sent long by Watts for Kenny to chase, but Nathan Shepherd collects it for Dundalk and finds Leahy. Now Doyle. It's sloppy enough by Dundalk. Robbie McCourt gets it away. He's being fouled by Sean Hoare in the opinion of Rob Harvey.
It's a little bit like Dundalk, they're a little bit lethargic moving the ball around, allowing Rovers just to close those gaps, put pressure on the pass.
It's not just, of course, Pat Hooban that Dundalk are missing here today. Greg Sloggett in that midfield as well. Very important for what Dundalk try to do. Lopez reading that one ahead of Martin. Martin wins it back though. Now it's Doyle. Here's Hayden Muller. Archie Davies is on that far touchline, and his first touch brings him inside. His second though gives it away to Gary O'Neill. Here's Johnny Kenny. He's gone offside by quite a distance. Dundalk free kick.
Really good play by Dara Leahy again. He saw Johnny Kenny going early and just stepped up that yard. He looks so comfortable in the centre half.
Here is Leahy. Cleary. Mismatch between he and Ryan O'Kane. Watts. O'Kane snaps back and wins it back for Dundalk. Now Paul Doyle to Uli Coco. What has he got around him? Archie Davies looking to get up. Uli Coco onto his left foot. Oh, some hit by Uli Coco. Imaginative play by the Finn. And that's as close as we've come to a goal.
And again, it all came from good organisation in the Dundalk's back four. Gary O'Neill had on the ball, looked forward, but he couldn't play the ball early because Johnny Kenny had gone, and then allowed Ryan O'Kane get back and snap at it. Great play by Uli Coco then. It dragged it back onto his right foot, lovely at a Cruyff turn, and that wasn't too far from finding the top corner.
3 goals since he's arrived at Dundalk. And well, still uncertainty about whether he'll be a Dundalk player after the end of this month. He's on loan from HJK Helsinki, and I suspect that Stephen O'Donnell would like to hold on to him. And Graham Burke now. Sean Hoare was caught, but Burke continues. Referee happy to allow play to continue. Grace, Kavanagh. Kavanagh's first time ball won't find Burke because Alfie Lewis is on sentry duty, and that's a poor touch from Davies, and the referee will come across and have a word with Robbie McCourt for that challenge on Sean Hoare.
That's both of them have left one in a little bit late, Hoare and McCourt on each other. Ref said that's enough of that.
Kavanagh dispossessed by Lewis. Lopez so quickly in front of John Martin to turn it over, and that's a free kick for Shamrock Rovers.
It's those little areas where you need John Martin to get on the ball, get his body in front and hold it up, allow Dundalk get out.
Free kick to Rovers. Watts waiting on the return of the ball to take this one. He's a good goal scoring record against Dundalk, Dylan Watts. 4 goals in 18 outings against the Lily Whites, 3 in the league, 1 in the Leinster Senior Cup, yet to score an FAI Cup goal against them. Today would be a good day from a Rovers perspective. Right-footed delivery by Watts, and that's, well, it looked for a moment like it was going to reach Graham Burke, but it was cut out by Muller. Martin sends it away. Here's Kavanagh popping up on the other side of the pitch. Derry City also in cup action at the moment against Athlone Town at the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium. 0-0 still in that one. Muller heads that away from Aaron Green. Longford Town and St Patrick's Athletic is a 6 p.m. kickoff. Lucan United 2, St Patrick's CY 3, Portlaoise 0, Skerries Town 3, the other FAI Cup games today. Here's Hayden Muller. Martin gets the flick on. Lopez awaiting the dropping ball and sends it away. Muller back into Rovers territory. Kavanagh. Johnny Kenny looking to steal in behind Leahy, but as ever Nathan Shepherd very alive to danger outside his penalty area as well as inside it. Here's Boyle. Shepherd will have to wait for this to bounce. Wraps his left boot around that and sends it straight to the head of Cleary. Boyle. McCourt gets in there ahead of Watts. Still McCourt, but Watts has dispossessed him. First time ball by O'Neill, and Kenny's after this, and this time he is onside. Leahy has stepped out with him. Still Kenny, now Lopez. Here's Cleary. Graham Burke. Dundalk forcing Rovers back and pushing out too. Green, Lopez, Muller goes in on Lopez again, but they've managed to work it to Burke, and there might be an opportunity to spring forward here for Rovers. Sean Hoare now. Who have they got in the middle? Kenny's getting in there, Watts is getting in, now Graham Burke. Burke helps it on to O'Neill. Grace for Kavanagh. Kavanagh. Green and Kavanagh exchange passes. Kavanagh again. Here's Watts. Watts with the chance to shoot. And it was Rising. And Nathan Shepherd grateful to grab that one and grasp it from the air.
Yeah, it's excellent play by Kavanagh out wide. He's great feet and plays a little 1-2 in here. He's at the heart of so much the Rovers do offensively. Lovely little ball in, and when it broke, Dylan Watts just couldn't get it away from Shepherd. The Rovers really had Dundalk, the whole team pinned back there within 30 yards of their own goal.
Muller. Richie Davies wins the flick on. Lopez is ever well positioned, but John Martin has turned it over, and Martin has gone down. And the Shamrock Rovers supporters on the far side applauding the decision of the referee.
It's really good play by Lopez. Well, initially I thought he pulled John Martin back. We'll see here again. Martin done well just to pick his pocket. Just there. Not a lot in it.
Leahy. Paul Doyle perhaps a little frustrated that he couldn't get onto the ball then. Lunges in on Graham Burke, and Dylan Watts encouraging the referee to produce a card, and it looks like he's going to go to his pocket. Paul Doyle into the referee's notebook. First player yellow carded inside the 15th minute.
Again, he lunged in, but there's not a whole lot in it. He's overstretched for the ball, but Shamrock Rovers players, 3 or 4 of them surround the referee, all trying to get him booked.
Johnny Kenny lurking on the shoulder of Leahy. Rovers throw in. So much of the opening play in the opening 15 minutes here inside the Dundalk half of the field. They haven't really had a spell in which they've owned the ball just yet. Here's Doyle. They really do need he and Alfie Lewis to get some sort of control of the game in midfield. They're two players that are capable of it, John, but they're both players that have struggled for momentum in their season in 2023, haven't they?
Yeah, I think an awful lot of people, myself probably included, felt that Paul Doyle was going to be the one that's going to anchor that midfield. And he's not an enforcer type of player as Chris Shields was, but he's a player who can dictate the game. He always an option from the back four. And between, I suppose, injuries and bad luck, he hasn't really got a good run.
Shamrock Rovers have it back again and again, but now Uli Coco's onto this. What John Martin is moving on the left hand side. Roberto Lopez though sees it back to Alan Manis, who has had a comfortable return, a comfortable first 15 minutes back in the Shamrock Rovers team after a 14 match absence due to a dislocated finger. Here's Dundalk with it again. Davies, he's forced to throw it.
Dundalk was going to have to make a little bit more of those opportunities when they do arise, when they pick pockets high up the field. It was a poor choice of ball with Uli Koku there. John Martin was never going to get around Lopez at that angle of a pass.
Muller with the throw. Uli Koku back. Muller, Uli Koku bundles it between two Rovers players, and then he stretches out a boot and collides with a Rovers player. To be a free kick to Shamrock Rovers, and a bit of a talking to perhaps for the Finn. Lee Grace, the player on the receiving end. Referee happy enough that a talking to is enough for Uli Koku.
Yeah, we'll see here again. The ball is broke to him. He's trying to get inside Lee Grace and just couldn't get away. His touch was a little bit poor, and he's stretching for it. A little bit late, and Grace across the shin.
Hall will challenge against McCourt, and Hall wins it. Green looking to take advantage of the loose ball, but Leahy sends it up towards the halfway line. Here's Burke, clever touch. Johnny Kenny onside, Shepherd out, and Kenny has hit the crossbar and put it over the crossbar. Well, that's remarkable. It looked like Johnny Kenny had scored twice in that exchange, but it remains Dundalk 0, Shamrock Rovers 0.
Really good play by Shamrock Rovers. That time Johnny Kenny did beat the offside trap. Shepherd look rooted to the spot, little flick with Graham Burke, lovely little ball, and Kenny unlucky with this one. He clipped it up, but from here he can't be missing from there. He's got up early, he's got his head over, he's got to put that. That's an absolute sitter he's missed. And real let off from Dundalk. It was Andy Boyle, I think, who just stepped up too late.
Well, Johnny Kenny will be seeing that one in his nightmares tonight if Shamrock Rovers don't win this. Glorious opportunity for Shamrock Rovers to go in front on 18 minutes. Dundalk have it at the other end. Here's Uli Koku to Davies. Ryan O'Kane is on the spin in the middle. Dundalk holds it up. Now Uli Koku again. Uli Koku in towards O'Kane. Cleary is there to get it away. Johannes Uli Koku growing in influence in the game in the last few minutes.
He's picking up a lot of ball in that little space between the midfield and the front. But when he looks up, there's no one in the box, only Ryan O'Kane against 3 Rover centre backs.
Sean Hoare will take the throw in. 125 appearances for Dundalk. Hoare scored 11 times, including 2 cup final goals, one of those against Rovers. Here's Johnny Kenny looking to make amends for that miss a moment ago. Archie Davies though gets back and he's dispossessed by Kenny, and it'll be a free kick to Dundalk, and Archie Davies has stayed down, perhaps trying to influence the referee, suggesting that the challenge was a bit naughtier than it appeared.
That was a really, really good play by Archie Davies. So great pace to get back and great strength just to hold off Kenny, and as he was coming back, I think he just caught Archie Davies' foot as he was swinging to clear it. But he don't want every foul, people surrounding the referee looking to get people booked.
Dundalk free kick is the outcome. Archie Davies playing it on the right wing today, but still mindful of his defensive duties as we saw then. Martin, good flick on, no one beyond him really. Ryan O'Kane in off the left hand side as the extra man up there. Here's Martin again up against Lopez. Lopez wins it, Willie Coco to Davies. That's a really good ball, fizzed into the feet of Martin, and John Martin has done really well to hold on to the possession. 4 or 5 Rovers players around him. Davies, now Willie Coco, and that's gone out of a Rovers player. Throw into Dundalk.
It's better by John Martin, and that's what we want. We want him to play up as high as he can, try and keep the game stretched, give Dundalk an out ball, and if at all possible play between the width of the 18 yard, try and stay in that middle third.
Muller's throw, Martin with the deft flick on, Lopez with the header again. Martin is caught, or rather it's Willie Coco who's been caught. Roberto Lopez pleading his innocence. Don't think there's any suggestion that there was anything malicious in that. It'll be a throw in to the home side, who have started to assert some sort of control in the game, or certainly find a foothold in it in the last 5 minutes.
They're starting to win a few battles, starting to pick up a lot of loose balls in and around the middle, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to scrap and fight for every inch. Just 2 goals scored by Shamrock Rovers in the last 5 games, and Stephen Bradley did say before the match that they have had chances and they've been unlucky. Well, they've had another chance here in the early stages. Johnny Kenny missing a gilt-edged one. Here's Davies inside the penalty area. Rovers defenders need to be careful, and they are. Muller now. Muller in towards Martin. He'd have to do well to score from there. Robbie McCourt is onto this though. McCourt exchanges passes with Martin. He's in here, McCourt, is he? And Alamanis comes from his goal and makes the save, and that ball has gone behind for a corner kick to Dundalk. It appeared to come off the Dundalk player for my money. It was really good play with McCourt. I was willing him to hit it as it sat up on the edge of the box. We played a lovely little 1-2, but John Martin, who just backed into Lopez, and he went again, and he just that touch, just this one a little bit heavy, and he was stretching for a good keeping by Alan Manis, right out onto his foot very, very quickly.
Dundalk corner kick. Ryan O'Kane will take it. Muller and Leahy and Boyle gathered on the edge of the penalty area to chase in on this one. It was towards Muller. It's fallen for Muller. Oh, it's gone in, and Dundalk lead. Hayden Muller has fired Dundalk in front. It's Dundalk 1, Shamrock Rovers 0.
Just all from that McCourt from the corner. Ryan O'Kane's put in a really good ball, and but as his ball is broke, a bit of fortunate for Dundalk, it's fallen back to the feet of Muller, who made no mistake, and he swiveled and has buried it into the near post. Gave Manis no chance.
Well, that's his first goal for Dundalk, his first senior goal in football, and it's a priceless one. A long way to go in this game, but Dundalk have a foothold now.
Yeah, it was a really good ball by Ryan O'Kane. I think it was Dylan Watts come out and won the header, and as he cleared it, just cannoned off Hayden Muller, just dropped to his feet and swiveled and struck it first time. Good finish.
Dundalk 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. What can Rovers do in reply? Hayden Muller clears it into the Rovers half. How his heart must be beating after his first Dundalk goal. Here's Graham Burke now. And Dundalk have impetus now and something to hold on to. Lopez, long upfield. Shepherd will have to be careful here, and Johnny Kenny gets there first. And that'll be a Dundalk throw in. Well,
that's a couple of times Shepherd's just been a little bit ponderous As the ball's bounced there, you know it's not reaching his box, and Johnny Kenny's close. He's just got to come in, just win your header and knock it out 15-20 metres.
Sean Hoare to Burke. Here's Hoare again. Paul Doyle snaps into the challenge. Burke has it. Watts. It's very clever. Gary O'Neill finds Burke. Who can he find? What can he do with it? Dylan Watts wants it right hand side, but they're back where they started. Rovers, now O'Neill.
It's a big few minutes for Dundalk here to try and keep Rovers out, because they're going to come try and get that goal back as quick as they can.
Everyone in white behind the ball now as Graham Burke tries to get turned and get a shot away, but it's blocked. Now O'Kane. Hoare in to try and win it back. McCourt, Doyle, Leahy. And Leahy happy to send that out of play for a throw into Shamrock Rovers and allow Dundalk reposition themselves and find their shape. Derry City 1 at Lone Town 0. Will Patching with the goal on 23 minutes also. Same goal time as Hayden Muller here at Oriel Park. Here's the goal scorer. Archie Davies won't reach that. It'll be a goal kick to the visitors. Here's Cleary. Dundalk supporters in good voice now. Kavanagh. Alan Manis. Now the captain, Roberto Lopez. Gary O'Neill. Cleary being hassled and harried by a combination of Ryan O'Kane and John Martin. O'Neill looking for the run of Aaron Green. Cross goes to Archie Davies in support of Muller. Now Burke eludes Alfie Lewis, and he's found Johnny Kenny. Out comes Nathan Shepherd to make the save. So quickly off his line, the Welshman.
It's an excellent save. It's Graham Burke. He's the danger man, and he's picking up great space just between the Dundalk midfield and back four. Treads a lovely little ball through to Johnny Kenny. He's done everything right.
Here's Watts looking for the danger man, Burke again. Hoare. Cleary to Watts. Paul Doyle snapping at the heels of Graham Burke and forcing the error. Ned and Alan Matthews are watching the big game in Portugal today. That message coming in from Neil Flynn. Jack and Dara also watching in Dundalk. Here's Dara Leahy. For those of you listening on LMFM.ie, Dundalk in front on 23 minutes. Hayden Muller with the only goal of the game so far. Johnny Kenny passing up an outstanding opportunity early on, striking the crossbar and then heading over with an open goal at his mercy. Little push in the back of Uli Coco from Lee Grace. Referee doesn't spot it. Here's O'Neill, blocked by Davies. Rovers throw in. This Stephen O'Donnell's 10th FAI Cup match of his managerial career. He's won 8 and lost 2, and has of course won the trophy with St Pat's in 2021. Now Burke, Hoare, Kenny's in the middle, Burke joining him. Still Sean Hoare, and he's got it in, and it's managed to travel a long way. It's behind it goes for a goal kick to Dundalk.
Again, good play by Rovers. Started off with Kavanagh playing the ball inside to Graham Burke, who slipped in. Sean Hoare down the right hand side, and from a Dundalk perspective, he's got the cross in far too easily.
Stephen Bradley has led Shamrock Rovers into 19 FAI Cup matches before today, winning 13, and he too has an FAI Cup win under his belt against Dundalk, of course, in 2019. Now it's Dara Leahy. Dundalk working very, very hard to press Rovers. Shamrock Rovers having to be very, very careful at the back. Robbie McCourt, not the best of first touches, but gets there before Burke. But Rovers have it through Green. Now Watts, Burke. Graham Burke looking for Kenny again. Nathan Shepherd alive to the danger again. Lewis, Davies. Willie Coco wants it in front of him. Lee Grace making sure that doesn't happen. Inside the 30th minute at Oriel Park.
Dundalk is going to have to be so on the ball in terms of communication with where Graham Burke is going. At times Hayden Muller's dropping in with him and going in deep, and Archie Davis is dropping back into full back. But once Muller leaves him, he's got to pass him on to Doyle or Alfie Lewis. He can't afford to let him roam unattended.
Muller with the throw. Martin wins the header. Paul Doyle looking to take advantage. Aaron Green though gets his body between man and ball, and he's gone for the yellow card. A second yellow card for Paul Doyle, and that's a red. And Paul Doyle is sent off, and you could honestly, you could see the computation in the referee's head. He decided he was going for the yellow card before he realised who it was, and I think he thought twice for a second, but he committed to it.
Yeah, and in fairness, it's hard to argue against it. He misjudged the initial bounce, and Aaron Green was getting away from him. He's pulled him down. It's hard to argue with it. And we know what happened the last time here when Dundalk went down to 10 men against Rovers.
Well, there have been 3 sending offs now in the 4 matches between Dundalk and Rovers this season. Robbie Benson red carded in the first one here in March, and Ronan Finn sent off in Tala in June, and Paul Doyle joins that role of dishonour now. Paul Doyle sent off. Dundalk with the goal advantage, but a man down. Here's Graham Burke. Now Green. Leahy's there. John Martin dispossessed by Lopez. Rovers smell blood perhaps. Andy Boyle just helps that on towards Nathan Shepherd.
Just needs a little shout there from Shepherd to stay down and avoid any confusion there at all.
I think if Dundalk have any complaints around that red card, it'll be the first yellow rather than the second one, John, I would imagine.
Yeah, I thought the first one was soft enough. I mean, he lunged in, but there was no real malice in it. That second yellow card, he can't be doing that. He's hauled him down. And it's come from the misjudgment, from his own mistake, trying to rectify it. Didn't want Aaron Green breaking up the field.
So real encouragement for Shamrock Rovers. I think there's a route back into this game. Here's Watts. Watts looking for Kavanagh. Archie Davies. It's so important that those midfield players in all those positions plug gaps and fill holes.
Yeah, especially Archie Davies and Ryan O'Kane up and down the wings, because Kavanagh and Sean Horde, they're going to bomb on forward every opportunity.
O'Neill on a different wavelength to Johnny Kenny. Here's Leahy. McCourt. Might well be a lonely enough job up there for John Martin for the remainder of this game. That'll be part of the challenge for Dundalk, that he doesn't get isolated.
It's going to be tough enough as it is, but he's going to need some decent enough service. I mean, Rob McCourt has plenty of time there to pick out the ball. And
here's Aaron Green. No nonsense from the Dundalk captain Andy Boyle. Throw in for Rovers.
They still have to offer something going forward, Dundalk, to try and make Shamrock Rovers not commit everybody going forward.
Johanna Zuli-Coco has stepped into that central midfield berth alongside Alfie Lewis for the moment. They do have Greg Sloggett on the bench as a central midfield option. Dundalk. O'Neill. Cleary. Here's Watts. Burke. Muller. Kavanagh now for Shamrock Rovers. Now it's Grace. John Martin all the way back there defending it. And Grace has found Watts though. Sits up for him, tempted to shoot, lifts it instead towards Hoare. Hoare sends it back into the mixer. Out comes Nathan Shepherd to gather for Dundalk.
And it's going to be a lot of the backs to the wall defending like that for Dundalk this evening. Dylan Watt there. Knew Sean Hoare had the better of McCourt at the back post. I think Sean was disappointed he didn't get a much better header across.
Still Derry City 1 at Lone Town 0 at the Brandywell. Here's Hoare. The Dog supporters below us giving their ex-players out there a hard time today. Sean Hoare and Daniel Cleary. Ronan Finn also on the bench. And Richie Towell for their ex-Lily Whites. Shepherd, Aaron Green chasing him down at pace. Andy Boyle rises above and wins the header. Some erratic play from Rovers in the last few moments, which is being enjoyed by the Shed. Here's McCourt with Dundalk's throw in. Okay. Dylan Watts careful not to concede the free kick. Now Lopez will play that back to Manis. Lopez again. Dundalk their work rate hasn't diminished since the loss of Paul Doyle. Both of these teams, of course, with European matches to come on Thursday. Trips to Iceland and Hungary ahead. Priceless games in terms of revenue, apart from anything else, especially for Dundalk. And there's another error by Shamrock Rovers.
And Stephen Bradley will be looking for Rovers to get on the ball again and try and get to that Dundalk 10 players moving around the field, make some space, and finally try and get John Kenny in. From a Dundalk perspective, just got to keep this intensity, this work rate going, and put as much pressure high up the field as on Rovers as they can.
Really Coco scrapping. Now Lewis to the feet of O'Kane. Really Coco again, and now McCourt. John Martin looking for space in the middle. McCourt sends it in towards that far top corner. Comfortable enough for Alan Manis to claim in the end. Now Gary O'Neill. Hoare. Now Cleary. And here's Dylan Watts. Both of these teams exited the Cup at the quarter-final stage last year. Dundalk's limp exit to Waterford, one of the real disappointments of last season. Shamrock Rovers at least could say they were beaten by the eventual winners, Derry City. John Martin putting in a tireless shift at the moment for Dundalk in both halves of the pitch. And that's exactly what the Lily Whites will need. Here's Watts. Burke. O'Neill lifts the head in towards Kenny. Time to control it on his chest and volley well over the crossbar.
Another good opportunity for Johnny Kenny there. He found a bit of space in between the Dundalk centre halves, and he was disappointed he couldn't get his knee up over that and get it on target. But for all their endeavour and all their work rate, Dundalk, when they do win it back, they've got in mind that they've got to be more careful in possession, because once you give it away, Rovers are going to come in waves.
Johnny Kenny will need to find reserves of strength of mind, won't he, John, after that miss? That will be preying on his mind.
It's going to haunt him. He'll try every opportunity to try and get one, try and erase that. But he's a really good player, and you'd imagine he has the strength of character to keep on going, keep plugging away.
Dundalk throw in. Rovers coming into this game with the best away form in the Premier Division. No real surprise given they're top of the table. 23 points from their 13 matches on the road to date this season. Watts. John Hoare hugging this right touchline. Watts goes the other way to O'Neill. Now Burke. Burke with licence to go wherever he wants, really. Cleary straight to the head of McCourt. Hoare is there though to pick up the loose ball. Darragh happy to just put that into space inside the Rovers half, and Andy Boyle encourages his fellow defenders to move up the pitch.
They're so good in the middle. O'Neill, Watts and Burke to find space. They'll drop and they're all equally as good as each other.
Stephen O'Donnell, I suspect John will be relatively happy with what he's seen from 10-man Dundalk since Paul Doyle was sent off, 10 minutes ago in the game.
Yeah, they've been compact. They've dropped into a 4-4-1 and their organisation is really good, but it's all going to be about the intensity of their pressing, and they have to be a threat going forward too.
Roberto Lopez and Archie Davies coming together. Free kick to Rovers. We're inside the final 5 minutes of the opening 45. Well inside it. It's half time impending. And Shamrock Rovers find a levelling goal before the break. Sean Horse behind McCourt here. Can he find the cross? Can he keep up with the ball? Sends it in. It's a dangerous looking one. Hayden Muller comes in from his right back position to head it away. And the clearance is completed by Robbie McCourt. Lee Grace is very composed up against
really
John Martin. Brilliant defending by Lee Grace. And here's Hoare again. Johnny Kenny is the target. Aaron Green lurking too. Away by Muller. Sent in by Kavanagh. Darragh Leahy just impedes Johnny Kenny fairly.
But married to the work rate and all, Dundalk, they're going to need a bit of luck. They're going to have to ride the luck on occasion here this evening. They're going to have to hope Rovers just don't hit all the straps in the second half.
I think it was 1-0 in the match here. 1-0 in favour of Rovers when Robbie Benson was sent off, and Shamrock Rovers ran in 3 goals after that dismissal. It was their first win of the season, as I remember as well, that one. Started the season with a series of draws. Johnny Kenny is on Darragh Leahy's shoulder and he's missed that. And here's Leahy now. Graham Burke is in support and he wants it and he gets it. Burke looking for room for the shot. Straight into the hands of Nathan Shepherd.
Yeah, I think Johnny Kenny would have been offside if Darragh Leahy hadn't played it. I think when Darragh Leahy played the ball, he's played him onside. It looked like he'd gone just a little half yard early.
Graham Burke with the final effort, but
he'd be disappointed with that, Graham, because we've seen him so many times, more so with his left, but he's a great striker of the ball with his right foot too.
Not really clean enough by Burke, that strike. Here's Ryan O'Kane. It's opportunities like these that might be important for Dundalk, and the pace of O'Kane. John Martin looking for space in the middle. Alan Mannis clutches it and rolls it out for Dylan Watts. Gary O'Neill has been out injured for quite a while. Returned for the first leg against Breidebilk after a month out. Lopez to Hoare. Dangerous crossfield ball, and Hoare will try and find a player in the middle, and he has, and again it's Johnny Kenny. And again Johnny Kenny unable to find the target.
He's unlucky on this occasion, Johnny Kenny. It's a great run. He's come from outside Andy Boyle, got across him, Try to glance one into the corner, but again it's down this right hand side. Sean Hoare's big, too much room. A really, really good run by Kenny. Tried to glance it in and just couldn't get enough on it to put it in the corner. But Rover, they're going to keep on coming. As I said, Dundalk, they're going to ride their luck.
So much of Rovers' threat is coming from Sean Hoare in these advanced positions, John, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously both wing backs will be given an extra licence to get forward.
Inside the 45th minute now, last minute of the first half. Dundalk 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. Dundalk down to 10 men since the half-hour mark. Paul Doyle sent off. Aaron Green and Johnny Kenny are on the run again, and Kenny has gotten in behind Lee. Robbie McCourt on the cover. And Kenny, he may well have missed a couple of opportunities for Rovers here, but he will keep trying.
He's noticeably changed the runs too, Johnny. He's bending his runs now. Before earlier on he was just running straight. He's been found offside, but he's given Leahy and McCourt a torrid time here. He's just finding a little hole of space between both of them.
One minute of time added on at the end of this first half. Muller, Martin to chase again. Lopez will try to see this out. Shamrock Rovers supporters unhappy with John Martin in making the challenge. Here's Watts. Rovers with just over 30 seconds to try and find a first half equaliser.
So there's times here when Andy Boyle and Muller are going to have to go man to man. That allows Leahy push McCourt out that little bit more to Sean Hoare.
Here's Dylan Watts. Really Coco. He's had a reasonably good first half for Dundalk. Returns it into the Rovers half. Whistle's coming from the shed. Dundalk want to see the half-time whistle. Here's Sean Hoare now onto the left foot. Cross in by Hoare. Too much on it for Johnny Kenny, and that will be the last action of the first half. And it's been a mixed first half for Dundalk. Lead goal on 23 minutes from Hayden Muller, but that joy was tempered somewhat by the sending off of Paul Doyle on the half hour. Rovers have had chances. Johnny Kenny with a couple of gilt-edged ones, but at the half-time break it's Dundalk 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from that first half, John.
Yeah, the Dundalk started off quite slowly, but they grew into it, and then they started getting on top, started working hard and started stringing a few past there. This one here, really Coco, great skill just to drag it back onto his left foot. But an awful lot of Rovers, good work is coming from this left hand side from Sean Kavanagh early on. A couple of little 1-2s here, and once the ball falls to Dylan Watts, just couldn't guide it away from Nathan Shepherd. This is the one here, lovely little flick by Graham Burke. Johnny Kenny's done everything right. He's lifted it over to keep the Shepherd, and then just that one, he's just got to be a little bit more composed. He's got to score that, and there's no excuse. It's a poor miss, but he's looked a real threat. He hasn't stopped making those runs in behind the Dundalk back four. He'd have nightmares about that one.
Dundalk, as we said, grew into the game,
and this is what the lead up to the goal. Ball falls to Robbie McCourt and played lovely at the 1-2, and I don't know if he's fortunate there. Did a ricochet back off him, but when Ryan O'Kane's he's put in a decent ball. Dylan Watts' header is just cannoned off. Muller fell to his feet and he just swiveled and buried it into the near post. Really good finish, gave Manus no chance. And you felt then Dundalk might push on, but the sending off then, as you said, tempered the whole thing.
Hayden Muller with his first goal for Dundalk, and as we said, first senior goal in football, beating Alan Manus on his return into the team, the Rovers goalkeeper. Graham Burke at the heart of so much for Rovers in that first half, and setting up Johnny Kenny for that chance. Nathan Shepherd
gives credit. Give credit. Here's the again, it is a bit soft really when you look at it a second time. It's soft.
Maybe you can argue the challenge didn't need to be made.
But Aaron Green has done really well. The two of them are kind of linking arms. Aaron Green's just that bit stronger. He's got in front, and he's been pulled down. It probably is a yellow card. Soft. You're looking at it with Dundalk tinted glasses on, but he's given the referee a decision to make.
Both of them, I think you can argue, were soft in one way or another. Certainly, I don't think both of them add up to a red card, but anyway, it is what it is, and that was another really good chance for Johnny Kenny, wasn't it, John?
Again, it's coming from this right hand side. Sean Holt put in a lovely little ball. Kenny's made a lovely run from outside to inside. He's just got across Andy Boyle and tried to glance it into the corner, and as we've mentioned numerous times, Dundalk are going to have to keep the work rate up. They're going to have to keep Rovers at bay, and they're going to have to ride their luck in the second half as well. So
a third sending off in 4 matches this season between Dundalk and Shamrock Rovers, and for the second time it's a Dundalk player who has been dismissed. But they do have the lead goal. Half time here at Oriel Park. Do join us in about 10 minutes for the second half, but half time here, it's Dundalk 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. Welcome back to Oriel Park for the second half of this FAI Cup first round game, and it's Dundalk with the half-time advantage, 1-0. Hayden Muller with the strike on 23 minutes. Confusion in the Shamrock Rovers penalty area. Hayden Muller capitalising upon it to put Dundalk in front, but that Dundalk joy tempered by that sending off on the half hour by Paul Doyle for a second yellow card in the game. Shamrock Rovers have had opportunities in this one. They haven't managed to take them just yet, and Dundalk will be hoping that the finish continues to evade them in this second half. We are back on the way. It's 1-0 in favour of Derry City still at the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium, as Johnny Kenny threatens Nathan Shepherd's penalty area again. It could be a quick equaliser. Here's Graham Burke with a chance. Burke off the line by Darragh Leahy, and Shamrock Rovers serve notice early in this second half that they have come out to pursue that equalising goal.
Yeah, it's a long straight ball by Kavanagh over the top. Shepherd, for me, he's coming and he's stopping and he's coming. He's first. If he is the same Nathan Shepherd as last season, he comes and clears that straight away. But he looked hesitant and allowed Kenny to get in. He made a great stop. And then when it fell to Graham Burke, he done everything right, got his touch, great strike on goal, and Darragh Leahy cleared it off the line, last ditch header. But that's what Dundalk don't want. They don't want Rovers getting goals out of nothing. If they are going to score, they have to make them earn it, make them some good play or a wonder strike.
Nathan Shepherd sat down getting some attention now. What a whirlwind start that was to the second half by Shamrock Rovers, almost resulting in an equalising goal. Shepherd okay to continue. Darragh Leahy, his defensive instincts not letting him down when they were needed then. Throw in for Dundalk. Hayden Muller will take it, the goal scorer. John Martin beaten in the air by Grace. Huli Coco. This time it's Sean Hoare's time and opportunity to be hesitant, but he manages to deal with it. Johnny Kenny's behind again here. Darragh Leahy needs to be careful. He's got his hands on Kenny. The Shamrock Rovers supporters letting the referee know as Kenny sends in the shot. Dundalk stand firm for the moment. Here's Burke now. Now Hoare. Watts just trying to slip it into the path of the on-running Graham Burke. Testing moments for Dundalk at the start of the second half.
It is, and again, it's just a straight ball in behind for Johnny Kenny. If the Dundalk back four are going to play that high line, they're going to need Nathan Shepherd to be brave and start higher, 5 yards higher.
Here's Hoare again with a chance to send it in towards Burke, and Kenny's there over the crossbar. Another sighter at goal for the Sligo man.
On another even, Johnny could have had a hat-trick already.
Sean Hoare with the cross.
Looks Lee Gray sprays a lovely ball out, and Sean Hoare this time he's put in an excellent ball. And it's a free header inside, in around the penalty spot. Dundalk have got to be tighter.
Dundalk with a chance to put the ball into the opposing half the field with this goal kick from Shepherd. Grace sends it back out for a throw in to the Lily Whites. Longford Town and St Patrick's Athletic has kicked off now, 0-0 in that one, 5 minutes played. Andy Boyle with the header. Uli Coco dispossessed by Burke. Here's Cleary. Now O'Neill. Watts. Burke wants it. Slips it on. Sean Kavanagh was the player he was looking for. Hayden Muller takes the cautious approach and puts it out for a throw into Shamrock Rovers. Here's Watts. So many players in this Rover side that can hurt you in an instant. Dundalk's concentration will have to be complete for the remainder of this game. Watts again. Aaron Green had made a run, and that is towards, well, Johnny Kenny was the player after it. Johnny Kenny scored 11 goals for Sligo Rovers in 2021 before his move to Scotland and Celtic, where he also played for Queen's Park on loan as well. Here's Alfie Lewis. Lewis, that's good from Lewis. Now okay. Just to hold on to it now, McCourt. Hayden Muller. And Dundalk will try the left side of Rovers' defence for openings. Uli Coco. Leahy appeals for offside against Ryan O'Kane. Rovers have the ball though, so it's academic. Robbie McCourt, according to the referee, is fouled. Graham Burke then, it's a decision the Dundalk supporters disagree with fairly vociferously.
Yeah, I think he won the ball, but he was pushing Graham Burke in the back beforehand. That's what the free was for. But that's better from the Dundalk. They're going to have to get on the ball, try and get some possession, just try and take the sting out of Rovers as much as they can.
Hoare. Kavanagh. Rovers throw in. Sean Hoare. Burke. Shamrock Rovers very much camped inside the Dundalk half at the start of this second half. Uli Coco has charged down that ball from Lee Grace. Tried to help it on towards Davies, and now Davies is out of position. O'Neill, Cleary. Graham Burke showing good strength and pace here. He's gone a long way, Burke. He's gone the long way around. And now it's Kavanagh with a chance to shoot. Andy Boyle heads it away, and Alfie Lewis delivers it long, and there's a mistake by Lopez. John Martin will try and take advantage. Ryan O'Kane is supporting him.
Expected Graham Burke to pull the trigger there
on a number of moments as he made his way across the penalty area.
He kept going and going and going. Eventually the space was just shut down on him.
Here's Dylan Watts. O'Neill. Burke. Cleary. Once again. Rovers with 10 Dundalk players between the ball and the goal to try and break down. And they'll not do it like that.
And Sean Kavanagh's going mad out here on this left hand side. If anyone gets their heads up, he's within 20-25 yards of the nearest Dundalk player. He's so much space.
The last time Dundalk led at Oriel Park at half-time and lost was in February 2018 in the President's Cup final. Cork City coming from 2 down in that one to win 4-2. And Rovers were a goal down when they claimed their sole FAI Cup win here at Oriel in 2014. Carl Shepherd's double off the bench, cancelling out Pat Hubin's opening goal for Dundalk. Historically, that's how things stand. What have we in front of us though? Here's Sean Kavanagh. Archie Davies, it's come off him last, has it? It has, and it's gone behind. It's a corner kick for the visitors. And that quartet of Hoare, Cleary, Grace and Lopez all make their way into the penalty area to add their sizeable physique and influence in there. So much potential danger in there for Dundalk. So much attacking opportunity for Rovers from this corner kick. Dylan Watts will take it. Referee unhappy. It's something he's seen in there.
And Stan Cleary and John Martin in the back post. Just a bit of jostling.
And they'll get another go at this. Shamrock Rovers and Dylan Watts. Inside the 10th minute of the second half. Dundalk still with the lead goal. Watts with the corner kick to the back post. Hoare is there, pushed away by Shepherd. Back in again, what a save! Lee Grace with the header. And Nathan Shepherd touches it over the crossbar.
Really, really good reaction save there. I think the first one would have been an OG. I think it was actually the Dundalk player got ahead in it. You can see that again, but once it's fallen again, is it Sean Hoare? But it's a fabulous save, excellent corner in. I think it's come back to the back of Muller's head. And it's Lee Grace in the follow-up.
Here's another corner kick from Rovers. They're dangerous ones, Cleary, and that's away by Muller. Rovers still have it though. Those corner kicks causing problems for Dundalk now. Here's Cleary, sends it back to the edge of the area to where Johannes Ulikoko is waiting. Sean Kavanagh throws himself at it. Rovers have the ball back. Sean Hoare on the turn. Sent that well wide and is jeered by the Dundalk supporters for it.
I would say it was slightly ambitious by Sean Hoare after his drag back 25 yards on his left foot.
Nathan Shepherd with the goal kick. Surely the temptation for Dundalk is to drop deeper and deeper all the time. We're going to see some changes. Greg Sloggett about to come into the game for Dundalk, but is that something they need to guard against, dropping just to the edge of their penalty area, or something that should be encouraged, John, and just make it difficult?
I think against a side like Rovers, you can't drop down. You've got to push on. You've got to try and stop them at source. If you invite them up there close to the box, they've so many, as you mentioned, there's so many quality players that'll pick you off. They'll play little balls in around you. You've got to try and stop them as high up the field as you can, and that's where Greg Sloggett's energy, his enthusiasm, it will add to the press.
Aaron Green, aware of the presence of Sean Kavanagh behind him. Dundalk will be mindful they can't afford to lose a goal here, because if they do, the likelihood is that the next goal will be Rovers, and it will be really, really difficult.
You'd imagine if they get one, it'll break the seal, and Rovers' tails will be up, Dundalk will be on the other way, and they could push on and potentially have a comfortable afternoon.
Archie Davies. Dundalk have been disciplined so far, and even still Rovers have had chances. Burke onto his right foot, lays it back for Kavanagh. Kavanagh for Burke again. Muller is stationed in the ideal position to get that away.
Graham Burke makes everything look so easy. It's so much composure on the ball, so much ability.
And Sean Kavanagh out here on the left hand side. It's a joy to watch both of them. Here's Lee Grace, O'Neill, Burke again, and Darragh Leahy sticking to his task. And now here's Alfie Lewis bringing it away. It runs into Cleary. Dan Cleary, what can he do in his old stomping ground? And he's found Watts. Watts gets it out of his feet and straight into the hands of Nathan Shepherd. And now Dundalk. John Martin wants it. Ryan O'Kane is on the far side, and he's onside if he can be found. And that's a wonderful ball by Davies. O'Kane, and he's skipped inside of Hoare and Cleary. Ryan O'Kane. Robbie McCourt, the player in support. Dundalk with a chance to just break that pressure that they've been under at the start of this second half and spend some time inside the Rovers half, perhaps. Darragh Leahy will leave that there for Andy Boyle.
And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be a threat as much as possible.
John Martin, instant control. Roberto Lopez at his shoulder, still Martin. John Martin still, he's nipped between two players, and he's found Ryan O'Kane. This is better from Dundalk, lifting the siege somewhat. But Lopez will try it put the siege back in place.
Really
it's a stirring cup tie now, isn't it, John?
That's what Dundalk, they've got to be aggressive, they've got to be ambitious and try and push Rovers back, and John Martin's going to have to do that all evening. Every time he gets the ball, he's going to have to secure possession and allow the likes of Ryan O'Kane or Alfie Lewis get up and support him and take some pressure off the back four.
Here's O'Kane. O'Kane fouled by Hoare, who claims that O'Kane had gone down easily. Yellow card for Sean Hoare. Again, a reminder for those of you listening on LMFM.ie, Dundalk are down to 10 men in this game. Paul Doyle sent off on the half hour, 7 minutes after Dundalk had scored the lead goal in the game. A lead goal which they've held until now. And they have a free kick. And this is a chance to bring Andy Boyle and Hayden Muller forward. Robbie McCourt and Ryan O'Kane over the free kick. John Martin lurking in an offside position just at the moment. O'Kane with his left arm in the air sends it in. Dangerous one towards Martin, headed away really well by Lee Grace. Dundalk throw in. This is Dundalk's best passage of play in the second half in terms of control of the ball.
Yeah, they're trying to penning Rovers back into their own penalty area. Some good balls into the box. And the fans are really buying into this, trying to get behind them and trying to drive them on.
An hour played at Oriel Park. Here's Archie Davies for Muller again. Muller, still Hayden Muller. Now Alfie Lewis. McCourt. Greg Sloggett's still waiting to come into the game. In towards John Martin. Nobody really near him. And Sean Kavanagh will send that away. Leahy gets out in front of Kenny, but it breaks fortuitously for Kenny. Now Aaron Green here. Aaron Green, he's being sent away from the penalty area. Players getting into the middle. Graham Burke arriving. Nathan Shepherd clutches it.
It's a good play by Shepherd, but Aaron Green just forced a little bit too wide. You can see Graham Burke all on his own the back post and tried to get it in. He was just a club or two short.
Well, we have a cup tie in our hands now, no doubt about it. Rovers chasing an equaliser. Dundalk looking to find reserves of defiance to keep the league leaders at bay. Graham Burke on the half turn. Alfie Lewis gets back goal side, and between he and Johannes Uli Koko, Dundalk emerge with the ball. Lopez gets that wrong. Kavanagh will try and make something of it.
He usually does.
Kavanagh, and he does. Aaron Green goes down appealing for a free kick from Hayden Muller and from the referee. Referee unconvinced. Fantastic noise below us now. It's one of the best things about the gantry in Oriel Park, John. Sometimes it's not when there's smoke and flares going off, but it really gives you a real sense of the atmosphere on the ground, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can feel it. You can actually feel the stand bouncing. Look, they're going to need the players are going to need that crowd to drive them on, to encourage everything, to give them that extra little 10% that they're going to need. It's hard work.
John Martin has run into a cul-de-sac. Here's Kavanagh, and he's found Burke now, and he steps over it. Kenny back for Burke again. Andy Boyle reads it and sees it out of play.
Again, he's so vital there. He reads the game so well. He gets his body in between himself and that. Graham Burke and the goal there, and shepherds it out. The longer this goes on, the longer you'd expect Shamrock Rovers to get a little bit frustrated, start forcing things.
Greg Sloggett has had to wait quite a while for his chance to come into the game, and he will get that opportunity now, and he will replace Alfie Lewis. So Greg Sloggett made his 100th start for the club on Thursday against Bruno's Magpies.
He's done well, Alfie Lewis, and he hasn't played all too much recently, and he's put in a great shift there for just over an hour. Looking for Greg Sloggett and just to hit this second half of the second half.
So the Meath man into the middle of Dundalk's team. Davies with the flick on. Lopez. Davies snaps at Lopez and concedes the free kick. Here's Watts. Cleary. Burke. And Burke has played that behind Sean Hoare. Dundalk throw in.
It's that first ball that Dundalk are going to have to try and talk a little bit more in the midfield, the link between the defence and the midfield to stop that ball into Graham Burke in the first place.
Throw into Shamrock Rovers. Rovers preparing a substitution. Dundalk have the ball. Muller tried to slide that down the right hand side towards Davies, but he's given it away to Kavanagh. Kavanagh's ball in is deflected. Leahy gets it away. Here is Davies on it now. Throw into Shamrock Rovers. Rovers will take the opportunity to make a change. Liam Burt will replace Sean Hoare. Yet to make a start or score for the club since his arrival from Bows in the winter, Liam Burt. Rover supporters would consider this a good time to get that first goal.
You see Sean Kavanagh seems to be switching over to the right hand side.
His 9th substitute appearance of the season, Liam Burt. Lee Grace with the throw-in. So a very different challenge now for Dundalk's right-hand side with Liam Burt out there. Johnny Kenny on the turn, but Andy Boyle, as so often is the case, in the right position. Here's Aaron Green, and now Greg Sloggett gets it away. There was an offside in there in any case. Aaron Green always looking to get on the shoulder of those Dundalk defenders. He scored the opener when these teams met in the David McMillan Cup final in 2020. McMillan's hat-trick and a Sean Hoare goal helping Dundalk to a 4-2 extra time cup final win. He's a good record against Dundalk, Aaron Green, the team he's played most against in his career. Leahy with an unconventional touch to McCourt, flicked on by Davies. Here's Martin. Grace has helped that into the path of Archie Davies, but it hasn't worked out. Now Burt with a chance to run. Really Coco with a tempted to pull him down. It's hectic here now, John, isn't it? It's not, the quality's not the greatest. I think Stephen Bradley will be talking about the quality at the end of the game again, perhaps at times, but it's still hectic, and
it's a great cup final. Cup game. Has that real buzz about it. It's on a knife edge. Rovers, their quality isn't exactly where Stephen would want it, but you've got to give Dundalk credit for that, for stopping them, for working so hard.
Watts. Leahy wins the header. Sloggett. Ryan O'Kane moves away from him, and now he has the ball. O'Kane, and he's burst past Cleary here. Forced to turn back.
Really good play by Ryan O'Kane.
Mature play by Ryan O'Kane. Willie Coco. Muller. Davies slipping in behind Burt, but Lee Grace is on the cover. Shows good strength to hold off Davies. Burt will have to work to hold on to the ball here from Muller and Uli Coco. Throw into Shamrock Rovers. Still Derry City 1 at Lone Town 0 in Derry. Will Patching with the goal from the penalty spot on 23. Longford Town 0, St Patrick's Athletic 0. O'Neill perfectly judged for Aaron Green. But Dundalk have turned it over again. Sloggett to O'Kane. Can't quite bring it with him. Here's Johnny Kenny, no flag. Andy Boyle once again. He's had a gargantuan match back there so far, Andy Boyle.
Had a real leader's performance. And again, what he lacks in pace, he's so intelligent, he reads the game so well. But you'd like to see Dundalk now just try it with Ryan O'Kane. He showed he has the pace, and Dan Cleary, just give him an opportunity, give it to him one-on-one, tell him to get at him.
Watts, Green allowed to turn. Now O'Neill cuts back onto the left foot, blocked, and the pace is taken off it, and that allows Nathan Shepherd to gather it. At the moment, Dundalk proving equal to everything that Shamrock Rovers can throw at them. Johannes Uli Koko back to his goalkeeper. Grace rises above Martin. Sloggett. Grace again. Here's Aaron Green. Has a look up and sees Johnny Kenny and now spots Burke. That was intended for Kenny. And Darragh Leahy with some composed defending. Inside the 70th minute. So 20 minutes left for play here. It's remarkable just how quickly the time has started to elapse here for Shamrock Rovers. Plenty of it left though. And Stan Cleary barges through. Here's Aaron Green. Now it's Burt. Out again for a throw in for Shamrock Rovers.
It will be 20 minutes of back to the wall for Dundalk.
Lee Grace unable to hold on to it, and Dundalk about to make a change, so a different proposition for Rovers and maybe something to be mindful of as they push forward. Daniel Kelly will offer something very different in terms of an attack on the breakaway.
Yeah, he just has that out in a blistering pace, and he showed numerous times this year already that he can play on the shoulder. He's so quick.
John Martin, who has turned in one of his best performances I think in a Dundalk shirt here, John.
Yeah, and he's occupied the back three so well. He's fought for everything, won his headers, held it up. And we're going to need Dan Kelly not just to do his usual self and use his pace, but he's actually going to have to get on the ball and try and hold it up a little bit for his midfield players.
Dan Kelly coming into the game, an FAI Cup winner with Dundalk in 2020. So Kelly moves into that striker's position for Dundalk, the role he's played in before. Throw is towards him, and Kelly's onto it. Lopez for Burt. Johannes Uli Koko is working so hard in that Dundalk midfield here today as well. Another player who's enjoying one of his better days in a Dundalk shirt since his arrival.
The one thing he's never been short of is putting in a shift, and he's getting about the place, he's making tackles, he's breaking the play up. He's trying as much as he possibly can to get on the ball as well. And
here's Gary O'Neill. So clever from Graham Burke. Kavanagh. Now Cleary will send it in first time. Who'll rise to meet it? It was Sean Kavanagh, was it going up? No. It was Liam Burt. Now Davies. And Davies sending it back to Nathan Shepherd. Dan Cleary just eased off it by Ryan O'Kane. No free kick according to the referee in spite of Cleary's complaints.
Yeah, he's let an awful lot of that go from both sides of the referee. Lads holding the ground, getting the bodies in front. I thought that could have been a free kick there, but he's let an awful lot of that go.
Okay, to McCourt. Grace puts it away. Sloggett sends it back. Here's Daniel Kelly to pressurise Lopez. Kavanagh gives it away for once. Sloggett finds O'Kane. And Kavanagh bites back at O'Kane. Appeals for a free kick from Dundalk supporters. Half-hearted ones at best. Muller. Sloggett. O'Neill at his back. Now Leahy. Daniel Kelly. And Roberto Lopez is, well, he's got enough on it to get it back to his goalkeeper. For a second it looked like he'd missed it.
And it's those little half opportunities where Dan Kelly has that pace to get in between the keeper and the back four.
He's so good at that, Daniel Kelly, capitalising on slip-ups. Cleary, Rovers looking to probe for a Dundalk slip-up at the other end. Leahy strong enough to hold off the Shamrock Rovers forward player and to win the throw-in. And the Shamrock Rovers supporters not happy with the decision. Robbie McCourt with the throw.
All these breaks and play into Dundalk's hands. It doesn't allow Rovers build up ahead of momentum.
Surely ahead of steam and momentum is inevitable before the end of this game from Shamrock Rovers, you have to imagine. But they're, well, 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes left. Has to come at some stage. Started the second half quite well, camped in the Dundalk half, but Dundalk have managed to relieve that pressure. Grace back to Manis. Here's Grace again. Andy Boyle reads it once more. Handball by Hayden Muller. Gives the ex-Millwall defender the benefit of the doubt, the referee, and decides not to show a yellow card. Free kick to Rovers though. Dylan Watts, once again, the big quartet go forward, jostling on the edge of the penalty area. Watts with the free kick, and there could be a chance here for Rovers, but once again Andy Boyle,
it's offside.
He's in the right position. Lee Grace was heading it back in.
It's a good line by Dundalk. Allowed Lee Grace just go in behind him, and he knew he was going to be offside, but Andy Boyle taking no chances, made sure he got his body in the right position to clear it just in case. They haven't gone away from their values, Rovers. They're still trying to pass the way in, they're still trying to tread balls in and around, but you'll wonder with 10 minutes to go, will they just throw the kitchen sink and throw a couple extra players on?
Shamrock Rovers, again for those of you who have joined us late, losing Rory Gaffney early on in this one. After just 3 or 4 minutes, replaced by Johnny Kenny. Lopez with a long hopeful one forward. Muller doesn't get enough distance on that. Here's Burt now. Still Burt. And this time Muller does send it away with interest. Now Kavanagh, fouled by Daniel Kelly. Referee will give the free kick. Good position this for Shamrock Rovers on the right hand side. Good angle.
There's no need for that foul either. He's never winning it.
Dylan Watts will take on the free kick. Lee Grace and Dan Kelly and Roberto Lopez all wait. Watts with the delivery. He's lifted it towards Grace again. Nathan Shepherd needs to be strong here. Cleary challenges, Lopez challenges. Free kick, and it's another offside against a Rovers player.
And it's either really, really good defending from Dundalk or a fortuitous decision. But initially,
Stan Cleary, isn't it? I think was advance of all the Dundalk defenders when it was headed back in by Grace. Nathan Shepherd's free kick. Cleary powerfully wins that. Leahy does the same. Lopez, and he's found Burt. Ball just skips underneath his foot, but he'll get there before Hayden Muller. Burt up against Muller. Muller gets a nick on it. Burt gets the chance to cross it in. At the back post is Burke, but he can't get it on target.
Done well, Robbie McCourt there. Just back it into Graham Burke. But it's, again, we've said it numerous times, it's going to be like this. It's going to be Dundalk defending, Rovers throwing everything at them. And can Dundalk hold out? Last 5 or 10 minutes they haven't really offered anything else going forward, and it's just Rovers wave after wave.
Nathan Shepherd taking his time. replacing the ball, and the referee has dropped his yellow card. He'll be needing that because he's going to show it to Nathan Shepherd for time wasting. Shepherd's, well, he's put that out of play on nothing that really Daniel Kelly could have done with that. Here's Gary O'Neill. Now Lee Grace. Cleary. O'Neill again. Burt is on this extreme left hand side waiting for the ball, and now he has it. Archie Davies across to defend. Burt into the penalty area towards Graham Burke. Well off target by Graham Burke.
They're starting to drop a little bit too deep as well. Dundalk, they're defending inside the penalty area now from those balls.
Richie Towell replacing Sean Kavanagh. And Gary O'Neill also making way to be replaced by Najimuddin Razi. So Razi into the match for Graham Burke. And Richie Towell, who can count a cup final winning goal among the 54 he scored for Dundalk between 2013 and 15 against Cork City in the 2015 final. And we have 10 minutes of the 90 to be played. Further embellishments to the Shamrock Rovers attacking Arsenal on the pitch. Dundalk throw in. Kelly's flick on. Here's Green. Now a chance for Towell. Roundly booed again for Cleary. Lopez. Robbie McCourt needs to be careful. Shepherd sends it upfield. Kelly challenges on Lopez. Cleary. Sloggett should win this one against Razi. Throw in to Rovers in an advanced position.
Just not able to get out at the moment, Dundalk.
Cleary. Towell again. Here's Dan Cleary. Lopez. So many players in black in front of him. Can he find one of them? He can't. Finds one in orange.
Again, Andy Boyle, great organisation. And once that ball is rolled back to Lopez, he's screaming at them, get them up to the edge of the box.
Oriel Park has proven the classic cliche of a difficult place to go to for Shamrock Rovers in recent times. Of the last 9 here, Dundalk have won 6. And those wins in years when Rovers have been in the ascendancy in League of Irish football. They have a throw in again, Rovers. Here's Liam Burt. Greg Sloggett in aggressively on Razi to win it back. Archie Davies can't get it under control.
It's a poor ball. They've got to be more careful in possession because it's just going to be another wave of attacks from Rovers.
Watts looking for Towell. Towell wins the header. Leahy goes up against Burke and wins it. McCourt is after this in a white shirt. Keeps it in play. Daniel Kelly will give chase now. Kelly, Manis has come from his penalty area.
It's a great header.
Good goalkeeping by the experienced Shamrock Rovers netminder. Here's Razi now. Pacey. And he's gotten inside of Leahy and he's put it in, and once again it's Andy Boyle in the right spot with his defensive duties. Corner kick for Rovers. Dundalk having to withstand almost constant Rovers pressure now, but they've struggled to create anything clear cut. Can they do it with this one? Here's Dylan Watts.
They do look a threat from set pieces though.
Watts with the outswinger towards Lee Grace, who wins the header once again. Straight at Nathan Shepherd.
And again, they do look threatening.
They do.
But it's good defending again. They're not giving Lee Grace enough room to get a powerful header on it. He just headed it down and it's comfortable for Shepherd.
Robbie McCourt has gone down here.
I think in the lead up to that, you mentioned yourself, it's fantastic defending by Andy Boyle. Once Razzie gets in, he takes up that front post position and blocks any ball slid across.
He's rolled back the years today, hasn't he, Andy Boyle? He really has. He's been excellent.
The only word I can think of it, he's been immense. He really has.
Looks like it may well be a cramp issue for McCourt. Conor Malley being prepared by Stephen O'Donnell and the Dundalk management team. Rovers, everyone to a man.
Callie Elliott there as well, is he?
Rovers to a man all go over to Stephen O'Donnell, or Stephen Bradley rather, to get some late instruction to try and break down this Dundalk defence. Just over 5 minutes remaining. So Cameron Elliott returns back on the bench on Thursday against Bruno's Magpies after an unfortunate injury absence, just when he seemed to be really finding his feet as a Dundalk player. And Conor Malley,
it was against Rovers as well. He pulled up, he come on and done really well. Cammy Elliott pulled up.
Conor Malley replaces Johannes Uli Koko. And Robbie McCourt will be replaced by Darren Brownlee, who comes in for his first appearance as a Dundalk player, signed from Partick Thistle.
And again, he's done well in McCourt today. He hasn't had a lot of football and he's putting in a good shift. He's right, see Darrell Lee, he slipped back out to left foot and Brownlee come in. And what an occasion to be coming in for your first game.
Darren Brownlee goes in alongside Andy Boyle at centre back, and Robbie McCourt makes way, and Darrell Lee steps out to left back.
He'll have Andy in his ear. You just want him to go win your headers, win your tackles, and take nothing for granted. Turn Rovers at every opportunity. You have plenty of pace up there now with Dan Kelly and Cammy Elliott.
This Darren Brownlee's first match since June 4th when he played for Partick Thistle. So he's been a while without a match, but he just needs to find the reserves to get through the next 4 minutes plus time added on. Lee Grace. Now Lopez.
A bit much on that one.
Too much on it by Lopez. Shamrock Rovers haven't won in their last 4 matches. A concerning run of form. At just the wrong time of the season too, with European football such a big part of the mix at the moment. And at the moment, a cup exit a possibility. But they do have some time on their side, and they do have quality on their side if they can utilise it. Here's Cleary. Free kick to Shamrock Rovers, and it's becoming frantic now for the visitors. Watts. Here's Burt. Right-footed delivery in. Aaron Green has the touch, away by Daniel Kelly. Cameron Elliott is the furthest forward now for Dundalk. Daniel Kelly has gone on to that left-hand side. Cleary's lofted ball in, met by Sloggett. Now Conor Malley. Here's Dylan Watts now. Still Longford Nelson, Pat Snell.
Dundalk going to have to push out.
Cleary's cross in towards Johnny Kenny, away by Andy Boyle. Dundalk looking for the free kick. Oh well, it's gone the other way. Daniel Kelly not convinced that the referee's got that right.
He's jumped into Richie Towell, but for me there's not a whole lot in that again. There's nothing in it, no free kick in it. It'd be a shame if Rovers equaliser came from that.
Dylan Watts plotting. What can he do with it? Once again headed away by Malley. This time it's Burt controlling on his chest, and the volley is over. Dundalk hold on to the goal advantage.
And again, he's not given any time there to get that down. He has it on his chest. He'd love to wait another second just for it to drop, but Darrell Lee, he's out on him.
Nathan Shepherd, he's already on a yellow card. He needs to be careful with any time wasting he might be tempted to do at this stage. Hayden Muller's 23rd minute goal still the difference. Davies gets up ahead of Grace. Throw into Shamrock Rovers. Here's Dylan Watts. Lopez, Cameron Elliott catches him according to the referee.
He's just run across him. Lopez has got his clearance, just followed through and hit Elliott.
We're inside the last minute of the game. Daniel Cleary, Grace heads it on. Brownlee heads that away. Only as far as Dylan Watts. Burt looking for space. Conor Malley composed. Here's Sloggett. Sloggett finds space with the ball. Nobody there in a white shirt though. Dundalk happy to send it anywhere. How much will be on the board when it's held up in a moment or two? Lopez with the long one towards Towell into the penalty area. Andy Boyle is there, heads it away. Here's Burt now. Greg Sloggett muscles him off it. The board is up. 7 minutes of time added on.
Seems a lot for me. Wow.
7 minutes of time added on. The Shedside Army below us baying at that. Here's Dan Kelly. Razzie dispossesses him fairly according to the referee. Aaron Green. Greg Sloggett gets there before him. Darrell Leahy sends it away. Elliott tries to get across Lopez. Here comes Alan Manus from his goal. Can Rovers find the grandstand finish they need to find an equaliser? Can Dundalk keep them at bay? Here's Liam Burt now. Muller goes to engage him. Grace. Watts. Cleary sends it into the penalty area towards Aaron Green. Andy Boyle's there again. Burt is there. And Boyle up against Razzie, who goes down. No penalty kick. Here comes Watts onto it and he's put it wide.
Oh, that's the heart in your mouth stuff there. I think Rovers had a shout for a penalty. I think Andy Boyle was a little bit over Razzie's back. The referee not having any of it. You can see here, this is Liam Burt heads it back across. There's definite contact in the back.
Nathan Shepherd goal kick. Dundalk supporters giving their team everything. Malley hooks it away. Almost 2 minutes of the 7 played. Grace sees it out. Throw into Rovers. Derry City still leading at Lone Town at the Brandywell. They're in injury time there too. But one of the big guns could be going out of the cup here in Oriel Park. One will actually, be it Dundalk or Shamrock Rovers. Cleary to Burt. Takes it with him on his chest.
Oh, well done, Hayden Muller.
Hayden Muller nicks it away. Throw into Dundalk. It's all about tiny victories now for Dundalk. Individual battles. Hayden Muller being encouraged to take it by the referee. Green. Andy Boyle scampering back into the middle. Here's Dylan Watts. Watts' shot. Again, Nathan Shepherd in the right place. And again, a Shamrock Rovers player with a presentable shooting opportunity who can't find the corners.
Yeah, it's a decent strike for Watts. He was disappointed he just didn't set it out a little bit more to the far post. And Richie Towell very disappointed with him. He didn't get his head up because again he'd found space in the back stick.
4 minutes of stoppage time left for play. Greg Sloggett wins the header. Razzie returns it. Sloggett again. Conor Malley finds Davies, and Davies looking for the pace of Kelly. Cleary, Towell. Muller. Davies sprinting after this and looking to pressurise Grace. Grace though with the strength to hold him off and find Razzie. Still Razzie, that's a good ball. Here's Johnny Kenny. He's got Brownlee with him. Darren Brownlee. Well, if that's an indication of what he's about, maybe Dundalk have found a player. Archie Davies, fouled by Lopez. It'll be a yellow card for Roberto Lopez. Not sure the connection was all that firm, but Dundalk won't care. Archie Davies won't care.
No, Archie Davies, he saw the leg dangling out. He definitely went over and played for it. But as the referee was dishing out yellow cards to Dundalk in the first half, you can't have any arguments there. Again, I personally say it's soft, but Dundalk could be happy to lead up another minute on the clock.
Fewer than 3 minutes remaining. 2.5 indeed. Hayden Muller awarded the man of the match. His goal playing a big part in that decision, no doubt. But Andy Boyle will have big claims. Here's Richie Towell taking the throw in as quickly as he can. 2 minutes of stoppage time left. Aaron Green wins the header. Davies competes. It breaks for Razzie. Sloggett competes. Razzie's beaten him. Davies looking to get back goal side. Razzie trying to slip it down the channel for Kenny inside the penalty area. Brownlee needs to be careful. He gets the cross in. Nathan Shepherd smothers it.
Done well, Brownlee again. Shepherd and Kenny down the side. Only one option to put it across the near post, and Shepherd is there to smother it.
Shepherd chewing up the seconds again. Oriel Park is bouncing. Throw into Rovers.
It'll be a while before this ball comes back in, you'd imagine.
Time, Shamrock Rovers' enemy now. Clock ticking towards the final minute of stoppage time. Roberto Lopez. Muller gets ahead to it. It's going to be a corner kick, is it? If Lee Grace chooses to let it go, and he does, Dundalk will have to withstand another Shamrock Rovers set piece.
Dylan Watts is going over. He's put on some great deliveries so far.
Alan Mannis coming forward for this one. Do or die for Rovers. If they score this,
Shepherd to come and collect in this one.
We have extra time, and you'd have to back the 11 men of Rovers in that. Dundalk need to stand firm. Rovers need a goal. In it comes from Watts, and it's missed everybody, and it's gone behind, and it's a goal kick for Dundalk, and we have less than 30 seconds of stoppage time remaining. 20 seconds between Dundalk and a famous cup win against Shamrock Rovers.
This will be absolutely huge if you can see this out. 30-minute man sent off. The best team in the league to play football. They've done it the first time here in Oriel Park with 10 men. They tore the Dundalk up to pieces. Shamrock
Rovers in different form of late.
And that's
looks set to continue, and it has. Dundalk have scored a famous cup win against Shamrock Rovers. 10 men Dundalk for over an hour, and they've held off the champions, and they advance to the second round of the FAI Cup. Dundalk 1, Shamrock Rovers 0.
That's an absolutely monumentous victory from Dundalk. It was backs to the wall, to a man. Every one of them stood up, worked their socks off. Rovers, they can't be said they didn't play well. They just didn't have that finishing touch tonight. Johnny Kenny will have nightmares with that chance, especially one in the first half. But all credit goes to Dundalk, and for me, Andy Boyle led by example at the back. His organisation, his drive, his power, he was fantastic.
The match director is in my ear. I can't hear him with the noise in Oriel Park at the moment. Here's the highlights of the game.
This is the goal, yeah, and again it was a fortuitous goal. Good ball in by Kane, but as Dylan Watts headed it, just dropped at Muller's feet, and he made no mistake when it was presented. Good, but the more you think of it, Rovers didn't really carve out too many clear-cut opportunities, even with Dundalk down to 10 men.
Hayden Muller, man of the match award for him today, largely because of that goal. This is Shamrock Rovers and their attempts in the second half to rescue it. Johnny Kenny were one of the better ones, as he had in the first half
that
too.
Was just literally straight after half time. Dundalk caught cold, but Nathan Shepherd made up for his poor position with a fantastic save, and with a lot of this, a lot of balls from the wide areas put into the box, but nothing really to trouble them.
Shamrock Rovers with so much of the possession in that second half, and every time Nathan Shepherd, that was a wonderful save by Nathan Shepherd, touching it over the crossbar. Dylan Watts on the set pieces. Once again, Dundalk standing firm against Rovers. A little bit of aggravation down there, John, between some of the officials or players, is there?
A bit of everybody, yeah. I think Shamrock Rovers are just so frustrated, so disappointed with that, and Dundalk players celebrating in front of the crowd. It can't be underestimated how important that crowd was to Dundalk today. They were fantastic from minute one. Made so much noise, got behind their team, and the team responded in spades.
Let's be honest, John, when we saw the team line up today without Pat Hooven, Dundalk usually struggle without Pat Hooven, and going forward they hadn't much to go on, but they had that spell in the first half. They scored during that spell, and then the defensive rearguard that they showed in the remainder of the game after that sending off, especially of Paul Doyle on 30 minutes, was outstanding.
Yeah, when we looked at it ourselves, we missing Ainsley from the back, Pat Hooven up front, and you kind of gone, if Shamrock Rovers hit their stride, they could have won easily here today, but you've got to give credit to that team out there for Dundalk. To a man, they worked so hard, the pressing intensity, they never wavered, and they rode the luck at times, but you're going to have to do that against a quality opposition like Shamrock Rovers.
Shamrock Rovers now of course have to lift themselves after a bad run of results for that match against Ferencváros, a really difficult tie against the Hungarian side during the week in the Europa Conference League.
Quality European opposition on Thursday, coming off two lacklustre performances against Bredlik, and then tonight obviously it's going to take a lot to come back from. But a fantastic occasion, great atmosphere here today, carnival atmosphere, and we weren't let down.
That's it for our coverage from Oriel Park. It's been a wonderful cup occasion, hectic stuff almost from start to finish, and Dundalk, a defiant Dundalk, have seen off the champions Shamrock Rovers here. Hayden Muller with the goal in 23 minutes. Paul Doyle sent off on 30 for 2 yellow cards, but Dundalk withheld the barrage that came, and a glorious, joyous, jubilant Oriel Park celebrate a cup win and a place in the second round of the FAI Cup. Final score from Oriel. It's finished Dundalk 1, Shamrock Rovers 0.